All right, hello everyone. So today is the 28th of February, right? The last day of February. We're going to move into March on Monday. So let's do a wrap up of the previous week. First of all, let's share with you what we had. So this was 23 to the 27th February trading days and hours. Remember, I posted these at the end of January. Also, please be aware that the full month of March, they're also all in there. So how we're going to trade? Well, these were the trading days: Monday, Friday for gold, euro dollar Monday or Tuesday, and Thursday or Friday. Bitcoin Monday and Friday, SP 500 Thursday or Friday, Dow Jones Monday or Tuesday, and then Friday, and then Nasdaq Tuesday and Thursday. And these were the hours. You can take a screenshot, check it out. Monday with some comments, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Okay, I didn't have a video for Friday. On Friday I don't work on Fridays. I go to the farmer's market early in the morning to go get some stuff fresh. So Fridays is more like for me a long weekend. Sometimes I do a video, sometimes I don't. Okay, so this is it. Also remember, recently I've been working on the bias of our direction. Normally when we have trade days and trade hours, we're looking for swing days or breakouts on both situations. But now I've added to my calculations something really weird. It can give us the direction. Okay, it can be like, you know what, these days we can align ourselves with an up move or a down move, or if it's a sideways move as well. So knowing these things are kind of good for us as well. Also, sometimes the range, the range calculations can be like a continuity of a turnaround or a breakout that came through that up bias. So that's really handy to know. This is really good. So I'm really happy that those calculations are finally giving us some fruit along the way as well. So hopefully I'll soon automate them as well. So let's start with gold. Now I'm just going to diminish myself here a little bit so you guys can see the chart a bit better. Let's take a look. So for gold, we had, remember, Monday, Friday. If you watch the videos on Vimeo, I've also made all of the videos for the previous week live. You can see what I've been saying in the videos. Now remember, with gold, my bias is to the upside. I want to go all the way back up there. In fact, I want to bypass that. So these 3 days I said I'm biased to the upside. So if the market pulls down, I want to go long. And my justification was that there are two places to go long. One is the goodbye kiss on there, okay, because that's the breakout. And the second one was the gap fill here. So if on any of those days we pull back, we want to go long. All right, we just want to push to the upside. And I did say, according to my calculations, we are in a bullish mode in these 3 days, and Friday we've got a trading day, right? So it's let's go. All right, so that's how it kind of panned out. So Monday I did say we could go long, and on the pullbacks we could still push to the upside, which was fine. Monday, let's take a look at the trading hours. Now if you put the trading hours vertically on your charts, this is Monday. All right, so with Monday I did say if we come back we can go long, and I did remember I gave you this gap here as well. I said, guys, we should fill in this zone, which is actually that goodbye kiss zone. Okay, this is where the market kind of pushed up, and I did say on the pullbacks go long. Buying at the tops when the market already made an impulse is just, I just don't like buying expensive. So if we pull back, we can go long. And this is a breakout situation. Market goes back up onto Tuesday. If you also read the comment, look, I said you have to read between the lines as well. That Monday I said 3:55 to 4:20, and then I've got 6 o'clock, and I said it could break out into 8:45 and continue to closing, right? So whatever you're trading, you got to be a little bit mindful on that and see how that's kind of panning out. and follow the hours. As you can see, this is where the breakout happened. That's the 8:45, which is 7:45, and that's your breakout, because the platform, remember, is an hour behind. And that's your, what was it, 7 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock on the platform, breaking out, coming back for a good buy kiss, going into the target. All right, so making sure that you're kind of following the hours and the comments does help your trading. Tuesday. Now Tuesday I got stopped out, okay, because the market was down and I boxed to the upside here. But I like to trade on the edges. So this got me stopped out when the market went down. But I said if this does go down, we got room to come down into there. And I did give you those price levels as well beforehand. So the market dips exactly into there. And this is where you should have either taken profit, covered your trade, and so on. And then the market, as you can see, bounced back right from there, because the technical level, the market is going to the upside, plus we've got our bias to the upside. So at a target, you don't want to be waiting for it too much. You want to manage your trade, take some profit off the table, and so on. And then the market comes into Asia session. Asia session gave you in the opening an opportunity, because we were pretty much back where the market picked up there. And that's your trading hour. So that's an hour matching a spot. Now remember, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday were not trading days, okay? But remember, I said I've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday bias to the upside because of those energy vector calculations that I've been doing, which are kind of like, giving us some high probability direction bias. So buying the lows was the way to go. And this is Thursday. Now Thursday, why this is not a good place to buy? Because look, you've got a gap here. All right, so it's not a good place to buy. So the market comes in, fills in the gap, and then this is your trading hour. This is a breakout trading probability. This is a breakout trading probability. Okay, but at the end of the day, you can see the market just went sideways and fishy. Okay, Thursday, no real trading ability at all, because it's just trading hours just didn't match the highs and the lows. So if the market is made, for example, before I come to Thursday, this is the high, all right, so that's the high, and this is the low, right? I've got a low there. So if I want to go up, what do I really want to do? I want to buy the lows at a trading hour to go to the upside. Okay, I don't want to be buying the highs, because highs are going to be like turnaround probabilities, right? So if you're going to buy something, you have to do it on a pullback, or you've got a box. Okay, and if you're going to box it, it's a little bit more risky, but it does work, because when there's a push and drive, that boxing is the best way to trade a breakout, because you've got time and price. But that also you've got to do on a time and price location, right? So Thursday, as you can see, we're top there, bottom there. Market's just choppy, not going anywhere. Friday is a different ball game. Friday, the market stabilized throughout Asia, and now we've got a breakout. Now let's take a look at that Friday comment I made. Let's do this. Okay, Friday. Why are you so big here? Okay, so this is Friday. Friday. Okay, here we are. All right. Market can push, can have a push flow all the way into 305 to 345. That's my time. Okay, UTC plus 3. That's New York pre-trading session, where it can either turn or keep pushing, probably into 8 o'clock. So let's do this. Okay, let's bring this here. Let's push this down, right? So this is that zone, all right? Remember, it's 245, 2 to 245 on the platform, because the platform is 1 hour behind. So from 3 to 345, it's going to be 2 to 245. This is a 15-minute chart, all right? And that's it. So 245. Look what happens. Market stabilized, trading hour, buying from the order block, nice and easy, and then a push up into the trading hours, Okay, so it's like really nice and clean. And this was like a good spot where the market just, as you can see, just shot up. If you didn't trade, crap. All right, so where was I? If you had this breakout happen, that's also fine, because remember, Friday trading day, right? So now the market's picking up, breaking to the upside. Then the goodbye kiss is fine. Why? Because you went up in the bias direction to a breakout, and then the pullback is good. If you use this trading hour to go long with a tight stop loss, you would have already covered that trade on the high of Wednesday. Okay, this is why I prefer the trading hour with price rather than the breakout and the pullback. The breakout and the pullback is doable, and I do it, but it's not A plus. Okay, it's like, there's an A setup, B setup, C setup kind of thing. And for me, breakout pullback is a B setup. A C setup is, when we're chucking a UE, because the UE is like, it's a bit more, it just keeps you a bit more further from your initial entry. That's why for me it's a C setup. But I guess a U-turn and a breakout pullback goodbye kiss can both be a B setup as well. But a good, A plus setup is when you got the trading day, trading hour at your price, and that's like bingo. So that's gold, and that's from Monday taking us into Friday. Let's take a look at the euro dollar. All right, euro dollar, right? So we had Monday or Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. So let's take a look at what happened. So this is Monday, Tuesday, right? This is Monday, all right? Market just sold off. But as you know, we've been talking about going long. I'm long on the euro dollar, and I've mentioned it on the videos last week as well, okay? The only drama I said we could have is this gap fill here, okay? But other than that, impulse A, B, C, nice and easy, and it works out well with this impulse, remember? Okay, we're at 37.5. The gaps filled, and this is a good setup for us to go long. We talked about that. So once the market starts to push to the upside here, then we had this breakout, and on Thursday as well, I said if we come back, that was a good place we could come back to. Okay, 17.95, as you can see, as well, to go long. So Thursday, Friday, let's take a look. Let's put the days on. All right, so here we are. Euro dollar, right? Let's do this. So euro dollar, let's take a look. Monday, Tuesday. So when I've got a slash, it's Monday or Tuesday, right? So we have to be careful there. Now remember, when you want to be trading, you want to be trading in a zone where you want to buy and sell. Okay, so this like Monday, Tuesday, I said we could go long here as well, because this was a good sign from last week. And last week also trading day, as you can see, the market moved up from there, comes back, fills in that gap. So this week, like going low, going down was also, going down and up was an option. So this is why I had two arrows on both sides, and that's why I drew this line here if we have a break to the upside. Okay, I'm still waiting on a quote for my PST indicator, because if we have such a quote, then we'll be able to follow through at the right pricing. Okay, so like, once we have it, we can like go long at the right pricing, at the right exact time and price. So we'll see and see if they give me a quote. So what happened? Market comes back Thursday, Friday, we're to the upside. So pretty much on the Monday went up, Tuesday also from the lows up into Friday. Not a lot of excitement, but at the end of the day, that's how it panned out. Let's take a look at the trading hours. Now the trading hours, as you can see, the same. So if I go into Monday, The trading hours, you know, they're not going to change, whatever you're trading. So if I take a look at Monday, not you, let's put this here, let's take you across so I can get some view. Okay, so Monday, 6:15 on the platform, 6:15 on the platform. Then I've got 8:30, so I've got 6:15 to 6:40, which is there. Okay, then I've got 8:40, which is 7:40, which is 7:40 there. Okay, so from here, as you can see, market's going to the upside. And I've got 11:50, which is 10:50. 10:50 is there. All right, so market goes up a little bit. This is where Asia sells off, sell off. Because you got the gap there, you should have already thought to yourself, you know, be careful, because this should come back to fill in, and it's a Monday too. All right, so market comes back, and I've got 355 to 420, which is 255, 255. This is your 255, right? So the market picks up from the low. And then I've got 7 o'clock, which is 6 o'clock. So if you just keep putting your hours, 6 o'clock is there. So there's nothing to do here. You can do something here. Why? Because the market came back down. Turn this into a 1 hour chart, right? Okay, so this is it. Where is Monday? This is your Monday, all right? So market comes back down, goes back up. And this is Tuesday. So we had Monday or Tuesday, remember? So as you can see, the market coming back down into Tuesday even further. Let's check out the Tuesday hours. Here, all right? Oh, Tuesday. 3:35 is 2:35. This is your 2:35, market going down. Then I've got 5:35, which is 4:35. 4:35 is there. Right, so market coming down, retracing, selling off. Then I've got 7:30, which is 6:30. 6:30, where are you? 6:30 is right there, and that's the market going to the other side. Okay, so if you are following your technical analysis, you see the hours are good. All right, you just have to match it to your decent technical analysis. If it doesn't match your technical pricing, just let it go. Sometimes people trade every hour there is. You don't do that. You just have to match it to your price, because we want to get a double confirmation. We want two confirmations, time and price. So that's that. And I prefer all of this pricing. I prefer it to Gann, to be honest with you, because what the market does is what the market does. So when you time it with your technical pricing, you know, your edge is good, even if, you know. So let's do this. Then what have I got Tuesday? I've got 3:30, which is 2:30 here. Right, 2:30 here is right there. So that's your 2:30, right? 2:30. All right, as you can see, market bought here, 2:30 again. Tuesday, as you can see, like from this zone, the market's going up again. From here, if it has direction, it can flow into 1035. Okay, if it has direction, well, we've been going sideways. 1035 is going to be 935. 935 is there. Okay, so not a lot of direction. But the market came back down. It hasn't broken the low, and that's the low it kept. Now on a Wednesday, what do I have on a Wednesday? 2:30, which is 1:30 in the morning. And that's 1:30. Then I've got 10 past 8, which is 10 past 7. 10 past 7, 10 past 7, 10 past 7 is there. Okay, this is a 15-minute chart, remember. Then I've got 10 past 1, which is 10 past 12. Let's see. 10 past 12, 10 past 12. This is 10 past 12. Okay, and then I've got 350, which is 250. Market comes back, and this is 250 in there. Okay, so not very great. We didn't catch that. 250. And then I've got 650, which is 550. That's your 550. Now market's kind of pushing to that side. But remember, at the end of the day, we're just following from here to there. I did say it's a little tricky, and I did say we should make this line, but be careful with the line because they could sell off again. And once it broke out on Thursday, then that was like the sign. And then I did say Wednesday we should be targeting 10 o'clock. So if you entered here as well, right, going to the upside, you should have entered 10. You should have targeted 10 o'clock, which is like 9 o'clock there. So not a lot of, movement, okay, but still in the right direction. And then we've got Thursday. Let's take a look at Thursday, Friday. So not a lot of movement on the euro dollar. But as you know, my bias was to the upside. As the market comes down, we should be buying. So Asia opening, I said, is volatile. So let's check that out. This is Asia opening. As you can see, market opens with an up move. So we had a bit of volatility there. Into 2 a.m. And I said 2 a.m. is going to be 1 a.m. here. 1 a.m. here. So that's your pushing and breaking out at 1 a.m. And then we've got next hours 10 to 10:35. 10 to 10:35 is 9 to 9:35. That's your 9 o'clock push down. 9:35 is going to be there pushing down. And then 1:45 is 12:45. This is 12:45 market going to the upside. Then you see, if your technical analysis matched these things, right, you should be okay, because it gives you like, oh, time and price, I've got enough to cover the trade, take some profit and so on. And then I said this level can break, be mindful, and it can follow to 345, which is 245. This is your 245. Then 540, which is 440. Let's see where 440 is. Well, that's your 445. That's your 440, and that level breaks. Okay, remember I said in the notes. Okay, this is why giving you a heads up is important. Okay, so you can see here, right? I said 145, so that's 145, and this level can break, be mindful. And if it does break, it can follow through. So it breaks here with these trading hours pushing to the downside. If there is direction target 10:15. 10:15 is 9:15 on the platform, so that wasn't very good. But look, price target. Okay, so if you sold off and broke it down, this was like a good level to take your profit. Okay, 10:15 to 11:15. Well, that's your 9:15 to 10:15 is going to be somewhere there, right? That's your 10:15. As you can see, that's where the market stabilized. And then I've said, which can be the swing day's turn for Asia to follow through. Now that's handy information. Why? Because if that's the UE and we've got Thursday or Friday for euro dollar, Asia can follow through. So Friday, check it out. let's see Asia. Where's Asia? From 2:35 to 10 past 5. 2:35 is 1:35. And then I've got 4:25, which is going to be 3:25. 3:25 is there. And then I've got 10 past 5, which is 10 past 4 is there. All right. So market goes up, as you can see, Asia session dipping into there, then going up. You can see it just did not break below that. On Friday, what you would have then done, if you're in New York, which most of you are trading the New York session, you got to look for a buy on a pullback or a price zone. When did I have 345, which is 445? That's your 445 bar, impulse, pullback, boom. And I've said here it can turn or keep pushing. So it turned around and keep pushing into 8 o'clock, which is 7 o'clock. And this is your 7 o'clock, guys. All right. Where it can hang around, it's hanging around, or go further to a target at 10:15 or 11. 10:15 is 9:15 on the platform, which is there. Okay, so it's hanging around there. 11 o'clock is going to be your 10 o'clock. That's your 10 o'clock there. All right, so basically giving you a good heads up. All right, so let's check out Bitcoin. So like I said, you just got to put your trading days and hours, together, and we can have it matching, and then you can just trade it off. Let's see, Bitcoin, we had Monday and Friday, so let's do this. All right, so this is Friday, so I'm going to get rid of that. Okay, so, and this is your Monday. Now this was in the middle of nowhere. As you can see, we're in the middle of a channel, right? So not much to talk about, but because the market went up, right? So we're up, selling is okay, and that's your zone. So if you did sell down, good. Then I said if you want to buy, you can. And I said if anybody wants to buy on a Friday, you need the market to come back there, okay? And I said Friday is a trading day. So as you can see, Thursday, it's still hanging around here. Friday touching the red zone. Let's see when the high price was done on a Friday. So this, let me just turn this into my short time frame template, because I should have, why don't I see the days here? Let's push this 30-minute. Okay, let me just fix this up. All right, so Friday, right? So Friday, what do we want to do? From the high, okay, and this is the zone. I'm going to sell off. Friday hours. What did I have? I had in London, we had, I didn't have a London zone, so we had 205, 245 on the platform. Oh, that's crap. Okay, so that's 205 to 245. So did I have a place in Asia? No, Asia, early morning I did. Well, that's a bit bizarre. That's 3 o'clock. I had 425, so 325 is there. Market goes up. Can have a push flow all the way into 305. It didn't. It just went up and then sideways. Okay, so that didn't turn out for us good if you traded Bitcoin. Where it can either turn around or keep pushing, probably into 8 o'clock. This is your 7 o'clock right there. So it pushed into 7 o'clock, where it can hang around or go further to 10 o'clock. So as you can see, it just hung around here. But that I didn't have, okay, which is a bit of a boo-boo. But, you know, we can't get them all right. So at the end of the day, that's how it is. Let's see if Thursday panned out. Thursday hours. What did I have? I had 345 for New York session, which is 245 here. Okay, so here the market, you can see, start to break down. This level can break. I did say this level can break, so be mindful. And it can follow to 345, which is 245. This is 245. Wait a minute. It can follow to 245. 145 is 1245. Sorry, 1245 is there. Okay, so the market, I said this level can break. Okay, so the market breaks. Okay, this is your next hour. It's kind of gone into that 245. Not a big move, but it's gone in there. And then it can follow to 345, then to 10 past. Sorry, not 10 past. 40 minutes past 5, which is 440. 440, this is 440. The market is, again, from this zone just selling off. If there is direction, target 1015, which should be 915. 915 is there. Okay, so that's market falling down, but I didn't have that low there. 1015 and then 1115, which can be the swing day's turn for Asia to follow through. Okay, so this is Asia's follow through, pretty much. What time is that? Okay, so the market did this pull, sell off, going down, Asia following through at 6:15 my time. Okay, so 6:15 my time, 6:15 in the morning my time is going to be about 1 o'clock in Asia. In Singapore, I've got 5 hours between me and Singapore, so that's like 11:15. Okay, that's Singapore, and then boom, and then this is London pre-trade session there, doing the same thing. So on Thursday I did give you a heads up for being a swing day's turn and Asia following through. Well, pity about the hours here. It would have been great if we had the hours for London as well, but as you can see, that's how it is. But you could see it was just breaking to the downside. Now if you have that, that's going to be your target selling off, but because we've got this line coming down, remember, this is the zone. All right, and on the weekly it did a buy before. This is where the market took off, wasn't it, last time here? Okay, but what did I say? I said we're, highly likely, possibly we're gonna probably break down. Now this is a place where the market can buy again. Why? Because this is a demand zone. All right, and that's your order block on the daily, order block on the weekly. So if you match your trading days, you know the zone you want to be buying at, and then you can match to the daily too. This should, later on break. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of that now, and that's how it is. Now because remember I said if the market comes down, I said on Thursday, if the market comes down on Thursday, Friday, you can buy from here. Okay, but it didn't. On Friday instead, it followed that swing. Okay, like I made in the notes. So following the notes is important. Let's take a look at SB 500. Now remember, all you got to do, I'm just going to do one index here, SB 500. Just match your hours. Now remember, with the indices, I said this zone is tricky. If we go up, you can sell, and that's your Thursday and Friday. SB 500, Thursday, Friday. I said you could sell the highs. I'm in favor of selling indices at the right place. Thursday, trading day, Friday, trading day, selling to the downside was the way to go. Did I put an arrow there? Oh, there's your arrow. Okay, but you got the days anyway, so if you're in a sell zone, it's a trading day, obviously you want to be selling at the right time, right? Thursday, let's take a look. 345 and 540 for New York. 345 is 245. That's your 245. And then I've got 440. 440. That's your 440 there. All right, 440 market, boom, down. All you got to do is to follow it into, if there's direction, target 1015, should be 915. 915 is there, which 915 turns out to be another trading hour, and 1015, right? Because I've got, what do I have? 1115. So on the platform, 915 to 1015 is there. And the market turns around again into Friday. All right. And on Friday, let's see what happened in New York. 305, 345, 205, 245, 205, 205, 205, 205. That's your 205. 245 is going to be there. And the market breaks to the downside. All right. So here, obviously, you should have been careful. Why? Because you got a block there, order block. All right. I don't really like selling this zone, as you guys know me. And then we had the Asia session, which was here. But Asia session, again, not worth selling at the lows. All right. The only thing you could have done Thursday from the highs in that trading zone, sell off. Okay. Friday, the place to sell off again would have been this high zone where they sold off. And the market didn't come there at trading hours. All right, so that's how it is. Let's take a look at the swing days for Dow Jones. Since you guys have all the trading hours, so I'm not going to go over the trading hours again. Dow Jones, we had Monday or Tuesday and Friday. Monday, Tuesday. How come there's no Friday? That can't be right. There you go. That's your Friday. Okay, also Thursday was an SP 500 day, and it was a NASDAQ day, so you should have been heads up on that one. Thursday, Friday. But if you sold Friday as well, that's fine. Okay, remember I said this should break. If you're following the videos, you know I want to come down here, and I am biased to the downside. And NASDAQ as well. Just check your hours because indices go together. That's why I just did SP 500 with the trading hours. And SP 500, I said NASDAQ. Sorry, this is NASDAQ, right? Yeah, so I said Tuesday and Thursday. Look at that. Tuesday. On Wednesday, I said we could go long, remember? Because Tuesday, market closed low. Okay, if you sold Tuesday as well, you still should have been fine. But I did say this is a chop zone, so be careful. But Wednesday we were here, and I said we could follow that through to the upside. And in fact, I gave you this bar, didn't I? Okay, and that's your Thursday there. So let's do this. Ho, there you go. Thursday market selling off right on the day. Bingo trading. All right, and then Friday nicely follow through. I'm going to get rid of these lines now because we're done. Okay, so I hope that helped. Have a great weekend. If you have any questions, queries on how to trade them, check out the YouTube videos. I've done a bunch of them on how, time and price can help you in every problematic area that traders have. In any case, if you're in the members area and you've got queries, just drop me a line. I'm more than happy to help you guys out whenever you need anything. Have a good weekend.